Hey, good morning, everyone. So, when I was in college in English 102, I was in Dr. Saccato's class and she taught English 102 apparently, but she taught other things. But I learned in her class that I like to analyze things. And we watched the film, True Grit, we watched the remake, and we had to analyze movie characters. And True Grit, if y'all haven't seen it, is about this 14-year-old whose dad got murdered and then she wanted revenge. So she went and she found a man named Rooster to help her get her revenge. It's kind of crazy because we're not supposed to seek revenge. But yeah, it's kind of a Western and it's good. But I actually wrote two papers. I wrote this paper, which was my first paper, analyzing Rooster, and then another paper analyzing Maddie. The teacher said she would like a good Rooster paper, that she could use as an example for her future classes, and she said she liked mine, and I was like really glad about that because I was like, yeah, I worked on it. I was like, I want her to be able to use mine as an example. But if I find the one that I wrote about Maddie, I'll share it with y'all. But this is one that I wrote about Rooster, okay? And the topic was, I think we had to write about in what ways does he represent the fine line between chaos and basically calm in her life? And how does he help Maddie, reach her goal? So let's go ahead and read this. Okay, so I was in school in 2014, and again, this is the 2010 version of the movie. So let's read together. When a little girl loses her father to a murderous, thieving man, she bestows upon herself the duty of finding the right man to avenge her father's death. Ethan and Joel Cohen's True Grit tells of 14-year-old Maddie Ross, whose life is disrupted by the sudden, undeserved death of her father. She sets before herself a quest which, like the hat her father left behind, is one much too large for her to bear on her own. In choosing one man to restore order where order was stolen, Maddie finds Rooster Cogburn a perfect fit. Rooster represents the fine line between order and chaos, which Maddie Ross must learn to walk in order to accomplish her goal. And because it's a movie analysis, y'all, I paused the scenes a lot. And I was just like looking for the details, and I noted like body language and everything. But yeah, let's talk about the chaos, and then we're going to talk about the order and how he was the perfect fit for her. The element of chaos in Rooster Cogburn is revealed in his occasional quirks. At the courthouse, Maddie Ross and viewers, through their first encounter with Rooster, become aware of Rooster's body language. In this scene, Rooster repeatedly tilts his head. Because the tilting of one's head signifies feelings of uncertainty and vulnerability, one can note that Rooster is uneasy when being questioned. Rooster also lowers his head for one quick second after claiming to have killed only 15 men. A quick lowering of one's head shows deliberate concealment, and it becomes apparent that Rooster sometimes withholds information, even to the point of lying. Although Rooster does confess to killing 23 men, he is massaging his fingers while admitting this. In analyzing body language, when a person massages his hands, stress and anxiety are shown to be within him. Rooster is seen in a state of stress and defeat when bowing out of the search for Tom Chaney. All right, this next paragraph is going to be about the calm, the order in him. Even though his outward tendencies show disturbance within, details as simple as Rooster's style of dress display the calm in him. His clothing is black, a color worn by those in authority. He has taken on the role of employee, but is protective of Maddie and exercises his authority in many scenes, one of which in which he commands LaBeef to cease spanking Maddie. The color black also implies submission. Rooster's overall obedience to the matter at hand is first revealed in his continual answering to the prosecuting attorney. More importantly, however, and much like the courtroom he is in, Rooster's clothing is nothing extravagant, nothing that demands attention. That Rooster chooses to wear plain clothing shows that he is sensible. He finds some matters more important than others. This character trait is expressed when he and Maddie are staking out Lucky Ned's gang. When LaBeef is up against Lucky Ned and his gang, Rooster finds it wise to wait and see LaBeef's response before he himself acts, finally interceding only when necessary. Rooster's wisdom in separating the trivial matters from the crucial ones is what outweighs the chaos that can be seen raging in him. See, I was kind of going back and forth between chaos and order. Chaos and order. So first we did chaos, then we did order. Now this paragraph is another one on chaos. When the situation is a light one, Rooster's actions may show immaturity and insecurity. In one scene, the trio, Rooster, Maddie, and LaBeef, pauses on their journey when LaBeef claims Rooster accidentally shot him, calling Rooster's lost eye a handicap. Rooster tries to prove LaBeef wrong by throwing a bottle into the air and shooting at it. He misses, and the bottle lands to the ground. He continues shooting at the bottle and, on his fourth shot, focuses his aim and finally shoots the bottle, claiming that the failed first 3 shots are due to poor bullets he purchased. This act shows Rooster trying to prove to the group, as well as to himself, that he is as capable with the gun as he has always been. LaBeef remarks again about Rooster's eye, and Rooster gets down from his horse and begins to throw cornbread into the air, shooting at the bread midair. When Rooster's enemy Ned Pepper remarks about Rooster's eye just before their face-off, Rooster loses patience and advances towards Ned, aiming to kill him, demonstrating without a doubt that his lost eye is a sensitive issue for him. These acts hint at insecurity within Rooster concerning his lost eye, as well as the nagging fear that he has grown old. He does admit to having grown old in his last scene of the film, and goes so far in one scene as to call himself a foolish old man, when feeling that the quest for Cheney is too much for him. Rooster's vulnerabilities tire him in this instance, so much so that, for one night, Rooster has a willingness to quit. All right, y'all, another paragraph on calm and order. Qualities of Rooster, his quick wits and self-control, show just how confident, how stable he is in dangerous situations. His years of experience, glib tongue, and lack of faith in the testimonies of suspects prove him to be qualified in assisting Maddie in her journey and in keeping her alive. When he visits the cabin of Emmett Quincy, Rooster does not settle for Quincy's and Moon's initial claim to have never met Cheney. Instead, he gains information from Moon by playing on Moon's psyche, telling Moon that the future holds for him only one leg in a jailhouse full of inmates who are likely to take advantage of a crippled man. This ploy proves effective, and Rooster does get the information he is after, showing himself able to obtain what is needed even by mere use of words. Rooster thinks quickly in dire situations. When Tom Cheney captures Maddie, Rooster considers the state of things before responding to Cheney. He voices an almost disinterest in Maddie, telling Cheney that Maddie is simply a runaway who means nothing to him, when in fact she is the one who hired him to catch Cheney. Careful in keeping with this act of having no possible attachment to Maddie, Rooster does not refer to Maddie by her name, simply calling her the girl. If Rooster were to reveal his business with Maddie, Cheney would quickly kill her. Rooster shows wit in analyzing both the situation and the enemy. All right, and now we are at our conclusion. Literally willing to suck the poison out of Maddie's life, Rooster Cogburn is the perfect choice in Maddie's direct search for justice. Since vengeance was on her mind, and since Rooster was described as a pitiless man, Maddie does not give anyone a second thought when choosing Rooster to guide her in the pursuit of justice, in her pursuit of justice. In the death of her father, Maddie learns that disloyalty is oftentimes the root of chaos. Just as Cheney's disloyalty to Maddie's father awakened chaos and ended a life, Rooster's disloyalty and almost giving up sparked chaos for Maddie and almost ended her journey. Rooster shows himself to be flawed but redeeming in his loyalty to Maddie. Rooster Cogburn serves as a reminder to Maddie that it is easy to give up when things become difficult, but it is then that one is on the brink of a breakthrough. It is then that a single pressing forward is the difference between brokenness and mending. All right.